Around the World Lit Audio. Journey to the West by Wu Cheng'en. Chapter 4. Full narration script. Channel intro. Welcome to Around the World Lit Audio, the greatest novels ever written, from every corner of the world, in English. New chapter every week, free to listen. Chapter recap. In Chapter 3, Sun Wukong descended to the Dragon Palace of the Eastern Sea, and tried every weapon in the treasury until he found as you will cudgel, the iron pillar used to measure the depths of the sea, 13,500 pounds, which shrank and grew at his command, and tucked behind his ear when not needed. The 4 dragon kings provided golden armor. Heaven, alarmed, offered him the position of keeper of the heavenly horses. He discovered it was the lowest rank in all of heaven, left without saying goodbye, planted a banner on his mountain, and declared himself the great sage equal to heaven. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Heaven sent an army. This was the predictable response. When a being declares itself the great sage equal to heaven and plants a banner to that effect on a mountain in the Eastern Sea, the Jade Emperor is obliged to respond. Not responding would be, from the celestial bureaucracy's perspective, a kind of institutional admission, an acknowledgement that the claim was either legitimate or too difficult to contest, neither of which was acceptable. The heavenly King Li, the pagoda bearer, one of the great commanders of the celestial armies, was dispatched with his son Prince Najah, and a force of 100,000 soldiers. They descended from heaven with the particular efficiency of an army that has dealt with many rebellious spirits over many centuries, and has developed reliable procedures. Sun Wukong watched them arrive from the peak of his mountain. He was not afraid. This was notable. 100,000 celestial soldiers is a considerable force by any standard, and the appropriate response of most beings, upon seeing them arrayed below, would be some form of alarm. Sun Wukong felt something closer to interest, the interest of a creature assessing a situation and finding it, on balance, manageable. He descended to the plain below the mountain. He said, "Who comes to challenge the great sage equal to heaven?" The heavenly King Li identified himself and his purpose. Sun Wukong said, "You have come a long way for nothing. Go back and tell the Jade Emperor that the title he gave me, Keeper of the Heavenly Horses, was an insult. I am the great sage equal to heaven, and I will have that title recognized, or I will make trouble that the Jade Emperor will find considerably more difficult to manage than one monkey on a mountain." The heavenly King Li was not accustomed to being addressed this way. He was accustomed to compliance and submission and the various forms of deference that celestial authority normally produces. He responded with the predictable response of authority. When it encounters defiance, he ordered his forces to attack. What followed was instructive. Sun Wukong fought the celestial army with the focused enthusiasm of a creature who has been waiting for adequate opposition, and has finally found it. He used the 72 transformations, becoming sometimes enormous, sometimes small, sometimes multiple versions of himself simultaneously. He used the cloud somersault to appear and disappear from unexpected positions. He used the cudgel with the precision of something that had been made for his hand, and no other hand. The celestial army did not do well. Prince Najah, who was himself a formidable fighter with his own supernatural weapons, fought Sun Wukong in single combat. The fight lasted a considerable time. Neither party definitively won. Both parties developed a mutual respect of the kind that emerges between opponents who are genuinely matched. Eventually the celestial army withdrew. They went back to heaven and reported to the Jade Emperor. The report was not encouraging. The monkey could not be subdued by force, or could not be subdued by the force currently available, and substantially greater force would be required. The Jade Emperor considered this. One of his advisors, a counselor of long experience and pragmatic temperament, said, "Perhaps the stick is not the right instrument here. The monkey wants recognition. He wants the title Great Sage equal to heaven. What does a title cost us? Words. Give him the title. He will be satisfied and the trouble will stop." The Jade Emperor looked at this advisor for a long moment. He said, "You want me to give a monkey the title of Great Sage equal to heaven?" The advisor said, "I want you to stop the monkey from causing trouble. The title is the cheapest solution available. We give him the title. We create a position in the celestial hierarchy. We give him a building to live in and possibly some guards to feel important in front of, and we wait for him to get bored." The Jade Emperor thought about this for a long time. Then he said, "Do it." A messenger was sent back down to the mountain of flowers and fruit. Sun Wukong received the news with the satisfaction of someone whose position has been vindicated. He was given the title Great Sage equal to heaven. Official, recognized by the Jade Emperor's seal, entered into the celestial registry alongside the gods, and immortals and celestial officials of every kind. He was given a residence, a building near the peach garden of heaven, comfortable and well situated. He was given 2 attendants. He was given, in short, everything that comes with a title, the trappings, the recognition, the formal position in the hierarchy. He was not, notably, given any actual duties. This was intentional. The strategy was to give him the title and the status without the responsibility, to satisfy his vanity while ensuring he had nothing to do. A monkey with a title and no duties, the celestial advisors calculated, would spend his days enjoying his new status and causing no further trouble. This calculation was almost correct. Sun Wukong received his title and his residence and his attendants with enormous satisfaction. He moved into his new home. He received visitors, other celestial beings who came to pay their respects, with varying degrees of sincerity, to the new great sage. He explored his neighborhood. He enjoyed the view of heaven from his official residence. Then he discovered the peach garden. The peach garden was one of heaven's great treasures, an orchard of peach trees that produced fruit of extraordinary power. The peaches ripened on different schedules. Some bore fruit every 3,000 years, and eating them conferred immortality. Some bore fruit every 6,000 years, and eating them allowed a person to rise into the air and achieve the Tao. Some bore fruit every 9,000 years, and eating them made a person ageless as heaven and earth, lasting as the sun and moon. Sun Wukong walked through the garden with the focused attention he brought to everything interesting. The peaches were perfect. The garden's caretaker, a group of fairies charged with the garden's maintenance, saw him and recognized him, and was uncertain what to do. He had the title. He had the official position. He had the Jade Emperor's recognition. Did this give him the right to eat the peaches? They decided, cautiously, that it did not. The peaches were for specific celestial celebrations and specific celestial beings, and while the great sage equal to heaven was now officially a celestial being, his right to the peaches specifically was unclear. Sun Wukong listened to their uncertainty. Then he ate a peach. Not one of the lesser peaches, one of the 9,000-year ones, hanging low on its branch, perfect and golden and smelling of something that had no name in any earthly language. He ate it thoughtfully, with the manner of someone conducting a professional evaluation. He decided it was very good. He ate several more. The fairies watched this with the expression of people observing something. They cannot stop and will have to report. Sun Wukong finished his evaluation of the peach garden, tucked a few additional peaches into his robe for later consideration, and went home to his official residence. Heaven, watching from its various vantage points, understood that the strategy of giving the monkey a title and hoping he would be satisfied had reached its limits. The monkey was not satisfied. The monkey was never going to be satisfied. The monkey was going to keep eating the peaches until someone stopped him, and stopping him was going to require something more than titles and residences and celestial armies of 100,000 soldiers. In the Jade Emperor's palace, a meeting was called. The question on the agenda was simple. What do we do about Sun Wukong? The answer was not yet clear, but somewhere beyond the edges of heaven, beyond the celestial bureaucracy and its calculations, beyond the armies and the advisors and the peach garden with its perfect fruit, something was watching, something patient and ancient and entirely unimpressed by titles. The Buddha. But that was the next chapter. Chapter Transition. You have reached the end of Chapter 4 of Journey to the West, by Wu Cheng'en. In Chapter 5, Sun Wukong's presence in heaven escalates from irritant to catastrophe. He disrupts the Queen Mother's peach banquet. He steals Leia's immortality pills. He declares war on heaven itself. And finally, after defeating army after army, the Jade Emperor calls on the one being, whose power exceeds what any army can provide. The Buddha descends from his western paradise and makes Sun Wukong a wager. The wager seems simple. It is not simple at all. Chapter 5 is available next week. Subscribe to Around the World Lit Audio so you never miss a chapter. A new chapter arrives every week.